Hey everyone, so I'm relaxing still. I decided to stay another day. Not trying to be double paying for two different hotel reservations, but I needed a break. This is the first time in a long time with this whole coronavirus bullshit that I've been able to look. I'm outside, yay! I'm actually able to sit down outside, enjoy the fresh air, the sunshine, my smoke, and not be harassed, you know? Maybe I shouldn't say that too loud because I haven't seen a homeless person on this property yet, which is a blessing. That's how it should be, you know? You shouldn't have to leave a hotel because, as I said before, all them damn homeless come on the property, breaking in the rooms, doing all this stuff. Every time I come out my hotel room, they're harassing me for money, for a cigarette. I don't even smoke cigarette. I try to smoke my weed. That's I have a recommendation for you. Hello. And they still be all in my damn business, man. I'm tired of all shit. And I have to go get that mold test because I'm gonna be there for. I have to go back tomorrow. I'm gonna be there for a few more days, so I have to make sure that what I'm feeling about they have mold in that room. Yeah, they're sure not. Because the thing is, when you call the health inspector, they always contact the business first. So the business already gonna know that somebody spoke up about that and that they're gonna target you. And I already had issue. They tried to uh, put my out my hotel room a day before my reservation. They try to say first they call me. And I say, what you calling me for? Because you know my reservation, I'm looking at the app. It says to the 14th, and it was the 13th on that day. And so, an hour later, somebody knocking at the door, like, you need to come to the front desk. Excuse you? I never need to come to the front desk because if you don't pay for your stay and you're on that property, you're trespassing, and that's tacky as hell. Like, who does that? And I had to break it down. With Wyndham, I said, I'm a platinum member, just like I'm a gold member, elite, diamond, and all that with all the other franchises. So please, exactly. Yeah, I shouldn't have to deal with shit like that. So when I got to the lobby, I was like, show me the receipts right now. Let's get this straight because my reservation says something different than what you are telling me, and I want to see this here. I'm gonna call the agency as well. Is the moment I said that and spoke up about the receipts, and I looked at the receipts, I said, I have an issue here because it clearly says that you have charged me for 8 days. So what are you trying to say that I need to leave on the 7th day? No way, Jose. No way. So I'm gonna first determine if there's mold in that room because I do believe. Well, I already read the reviews online. A lot of people were saying at that motel that there is mold. A bunch of different things going on. So I haven't experienced that yet. Hopefully not. But I'm gonna. The reason why I kept sneezing and coughing a little bit, and I kept feeling so tired. And I'm like, come on. Every time I turn on the air conditioner, I feel sick. So I stopped turning on the air, and it gets hot in a room. So when you have that happening, the bacteria is allowed to grow. So that's why I said this whole lockdown doesn't make sense because if you want people to not catch a virus, you have to have your immune system built up for that. That's with any virus, period. Fresh air and sunshine and exercise and eating properly goes a very long way. And you have a lot of folk that right now they can't get proper food. You barely can get the toilet paper and stuff you need at your house, let alone everything else. So when you think about fresh fruit and stuff like that and vegetables, you gotta have that. That's like number one right there. So today I decided, I support the local economy because I rarely eat out. You have to be careful where you buy your food from and who's preparing your food. You ever go in a restaurant and the server or the people preparing your food, they look dirty. I'm not buying my food here. So I went to Five Guys. I just needed something quick. And you know what? I gave the worker $5 tip. I said people should appreciate you because now they see that they need service industry job. There I went to the kebab house. I got a nice shrimp kebab platter with some baklava. I'm gonna enjoy that later. And you have to tip these workers. You have to support the local economy. I know Five Guys is a corporate chain, but I'm trying to support the workers that work for these corporate chains, because look who's making all the money. Corporate world. Come on now. They making all the money off all this shit. And you can't even go in a store or, even a hotel without a mask on. So I had to get a mask, but I didn't pay for it. And when I went to the grocery store, I think it was Stater Bros. Yeah, they gave me a mask. I asked for one because they were passing them. I said, yeah, I would love to have one. I'm not going to spend my money for this because we know it's a dumb lie. Come on now. So I'm glad that I get to relax, get to enjoy the sunshine. See, I'm smiling, my skin is glowing. You just feel better. You're in the sun. You have the beautiful sunshine. You're able to relax. It's amazing. And it's a nice little walk right here. My bank is right next door, so I'm able to deposit my money, check out my account. Actually, I'm gonna buy some more stock. I'm gonna buy some more shares at JP Morgan and Hilton, because I always tell people, if you're going to buy stock, right, don't go for the trending ones, because you should look at supply and demand. With the situation that's going on, if you invest in like grocery stores, healthcare, things of that nature, these are supply and demand. They're not going anywhere. People will always need food. They always need healthcare. They always need hotels. They always need the delivery of services. So that's why I invest in Hilton, JP Morgan, CoStar, Berkshire Hathaway. They're actually a good real estate company. If you're looking to diversify, I said, let me try out this stash investing. And I have, of course, Acorns, and there's a couple other ones. And even though they only are allowing you to purchase fractional shares, I like the fact that it's a low dollar threshold for anybody if they want to just start building up their education and literacy, financial literacy, while trying to invest. I had investments for many years. When I worked in the government, we have the thrift savings plan. When I worked in the military, everybody has their own type of retirement benefit. And, you need to diversify, because you see what's going on now. I'm glad that I don't do business with Wells Fargo anymore. They just have a bad history, and they're not willing to do what they should do to earn your business. Like, for example, when I opened my Chase checking account, they gave me $200. All I had to do was make a deposit. So, one of the research companies that I was doing some work with, they're like, all right, we need to see your payment. Let's get your ACH information. I was like, perfect, because you know what? They deposited my money, and I got the $200. So I basically got $200 for nothing but opening the account. So that makes me like the company. This makes me want to spend more and, invest. So that's why I tell people, if you have a bank like Wells Fargo or Bank of America, you're seriously wasting your time, because they're known for corruption, they're known for scandals. They don't give a fuck about you, the everyday saver. They don't care about you for real. And I've banked with all of them. I used to work at a bank many years ago. So I look at community bank, like I'm still with Pentagon, Federal Credit Union. Always have a credit union or two, because I like the fact that it's like ownership and not, and the rates are better. They're more willing to work with you for sure. So yeah, this is how you stay ahead in a greedy world. Everyone want to make money off of you while you are sitting at home on lockdown having to deal with coronavirus. This is some bullshit. I was just at the bank, and this guy was trying to get into the bank, and it's closed. And I'm like, you shouldn't have to be fighting to get your money out the bank. And so I just went to the ATM. I have multiple bank accounts. I deposit one, I withdraw from the other, I'm good. But I mean, if you think of the reasoning behind all of this, it's like, wow, I still have not encountered a single person that has your virus, your coronavirus. So cut the bullshit out. Most of what you hear on TV is a dumb lie. And then, it's the panic and fear. People need to get back to having their life, And then you think about it, on somehow, it's kind of like a vacation, because I'm in college, I'm in school, I did not expect the dorm to tell us all, you have to move off campus. I'm like, what? What do you mean we have to move off campus? Yeah, you have to move off campus, and we'll help you out and everything, but still, we're. This is crazy because you're in school, you're working, you're doing what you have to do, and your life is put on hold. You're told go in your house, wear a face mask, and just deal with it now. Like, no, people need to question everything. You should always question your government and what they're telling you. You see, now if you're gonna protest something, it don't make no sense to have a whole bunch of people all coming out. And the reason why I say that is because that's kind of like what they're expecting you to do. So that way they can have a reason to react to the situation. So I tell people, just live your life. If you believe in the Lord, you'll be fine. Don't put your trust in man because they're just man. What can they do? They can't kill you like they want to because I don't think the Lord will allow that. So, but that's just the reality of what's going on. So this hotel here is like my stay is paid for, and they want to play so many games and you have so many issues. And then I thought about it. I said, if the property care about their customers, why do I have to keep coming to the front desk like every fucking other day about being harassed by some dirty homeless person who's on your property? They should have camera. And then I don't like the setup because your room, I like to stay in a hotel or like a villa where you don't have all these people coming past your room on the outside. On the inside, that's fine. But on the outside, you don't want a bunch of people, hanging outside your door, camping out there. And I had to go to the front desk. I said, excuse me now, why is it that you have these homeless people? They're sitting in the stairway. They use the bathroom in the stairway. They're sitting outside my door. Every time I come out to smoke, they're begging me for money, for a cigarette, all this shit, man. Come on. And, we'll deal with it. Well, it's funny because every time I go, I walk past the person. I'm like, how can they not see this? They don't care. So I read the reviews. And a lot of people saying the exact same thing. So I'm like, alright, it's not just me, you see. So at this point, it's like, come on, you can't be kidding me. And I already told y'all in the video yesterday, but I come outside, I'm by myself relaxing. I don't need no guy coming up to me, harassing me, asking me shit. You know what I'm saying? And the past couple of days, every time I come out my hotel room, the next door neighbor, his old ass when I come out there. Come on. You're old enough to be somebody grandpa times two. Well, you keep coming out your damn room when I come out my room. 'Cause I come out my room first and you can hear the door open. And then he's got to come smoke and be staring at me. So I stare right back at his old ass. Come on. I'm too old for the bullshit. And then let's see. I actually took a video of, it was this homeless guy. He had on a big ass backpack. And he's walking across the street and he looking over at the hotel. Then he stand outside the hotel, right? And he's staring right at me, like literally. So I'm staring at him like, what the hell are you doing? So I said, let me pull my phone out and record his ass. Because I find that when you call the police and you ask them to remove the trespasser, they want to have proof that this person don't belong there. And so, yeah, so I record him. He come over. He see me pull out the phone. I start recording him. So he go walk up the street. Then he walk back down the street. And there's like a back side to this motel, right? And so that's where they be hanging out at night. That's why I don't like to go out there at all. At nighttime, I don't even come out that hotel room. No, the motel room. No way, Jose. Because it's not safe. There's a Burlington coat that's right there, and they like jump the fence, and they will come right on the property with, damn well you don't belong on the property. So what are you coming on the property for? From the Burlington coat factory? That's so crazy. And this guy, he comes walking back. So I guess he feel like, well, fuck it. He just gotta come on the damn property and what I'm gonna say about it. Now, it's not my property, so I'm not playing the police like who belong here and who don't. But clearly, if you are homeless and you have big backpack on, and you're walking up and down the street, I don't think you have a hotel room here. So I'm gonna, look at you suspiciously. I'm gonna watch you, make sure you're not trying to do nothing bad to me, okay? And sure enough, when he's walking on the lower level, I'm walking on the top level, like, So then he called himself trying to talk to me. I said, no, you don't have no business talking to me. You are not a guest here. You do not work here. So why are you on the property? And he tried to say something. I said, no, I told you I don't have time for your bullshit. I'm going to go to the front desk about your house right now. And the property manager going to be speaking to you, darling. And so I went to the front desk, of course. And yeah, as I was going to the front desk, he was trying to call after me, like, excuse me. I said, hell no, ain't no dumb excuse me. You don't have the right to be asking me for shit. I don't know you, and you're on this property, and you didn't pay to stay here. So you got to go. So I tell the front desk this. Now, as I'm walking up to the front desk, right, it's another homeless guy, his dirty ass, sitting in the stairway, smoke on, and he stink, and he have his little dirty bike over there. So when he see me coming and I'm talking loudly about, hey, I don't want these homeless people on the property harassing me or harassing anybody, he, tries to go up the stair. I pay him no mind. So I tell the manager, Sam, I said, Sam, I come up here every day, and you know that my room was almost broken into once. That's why I'm going to go check on my stuff tomorrow. And you know that you have this homeless, because the staff tell me, and that's not a safe thing whatsoever. So you have the security, when you come in the hotel, the security, they only at night, and they only just sit in a row. If they just did a walkthrough every 30 minutes, these bums will not be on the property. So he like, okay, I'm gonna go take a walk right now about it. Yeah, sure. I said, I have it all on video, by the way. Cause I said, my next thing, if I call the police, their ass is going to jail. And I go out there, and of course the same guy tries to talk to me, the little stinking bum that was in the stairwell. So I was like, no, don't be talking to me. You don't have no fucking reason to be talking to me, okay? I don't like you bums. And yeah, I went in my room. So that was not the end of that, right? We're gonna call this bum gate, all right? That was not the end of these bums coming on the property. So the room that I had, it has like a balcony, right? And I got there, I smoked, because the smoke is not gonna be like going into the people's room, and you have to have common courtesy. I'm not going downstairs with all them crazy ass people to be smoking, because they look like they be smoking other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So I come out in the morning, and it's like 3 homeless people just like almost camped out on these little rocks that they have. Now, technically, the rocks are not on the property, but they're right there. And I usually sit there in the morning time. That's like my morning ritual. I'll have my coffee, have my tea. I'll sit out there, listen to music, do my yoga, relax, smoke. So I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm not going to go sit over there with the bums. All right, let me go around the backside. So I go around the backside, I smoke, no problem. Well, later on that day, of course, I noticed there's a bunch of them just camping out on the property. And I'm like, where is the damn property manager? Because every time I go in that front office, I see the employees working hard. But all he sits in the office. He only comes out unless you make him come out. So I feel like this property manager does not give a damn. And he clearly does not know who he's dealing with. Because I make one phone call to La Quinta or Wyndham Rewards, the corporate office, I will have them come out and inspect your property. And once they find out the violations, they will shut your ass down. So, if the agency didn't pay for my hotel there, I would have not stayed there. I had stayed there for like 2 weeks, and I had got enough points for a free night, and I actually used the free night there. And that's the ironic thing. In the beginning, I didn't really see all these issues, and I've always kept the same room, so that's a blessing right there. Like when I go to a hotel, I like to keep the same room once you find it is comfortable, just because you never know how your experience is gonna be if you switch rooms, okay? So, you know how some people be like, okay, I didn't like this room, let me switch. Unless it's like a major issue, I don't recommend trying to switch your room because you never know what you might get into, okay? But I like to stay at like IHG or Best Western, of course, Hilton. And so that's why I made a decision. I said, I need a 2 day break. I need to relax. I need to decompress. I need to cook, to chill, have space. So let's see. Their rate with tax is $85 a day, right? That's a 2 star. So, I mean, that's a little bit high for a 2 star, but whatever. And even with this quarantine going on and, COVID, all this shit, the tourist season hasn't really started. We don't know when it's going to start. But normally, a 2 star motel like that, if it normally ranges for the 85 for day rate, including tax, during the tourist season, it can be as high as 150. Yeah, I've even seen like the Motel 6 for like 200, 300 a night because they price gouge up here. So depending on if it's an event going on, oh my God, I hope you book your hotel room weeks or months in advance because you're going to pay a premium, a surcharge, upcharge, and every charge they can charge on you just because. And I don't think that's fair. So I don't stay in certain area because like the downtown San Diego area, it's so crowded, it's so touristy, like any major city, and it's dirty. Have you ever been to Hollywood? You ever been to LA? Oh my God, you will freak the fuck out because you think it's gonna be beautiful and diamonds and all this shit. No, 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 they're lying to your ass. It is dirty, it's touristy, and this is not looking down upon anybody. This is stating a reality that is Lord. Damn. It's 420. Yeah. You have a number of the homeless who are not bums, okay? They're just people who can't afford a place to live. It's very expensive in this country, especially California. So I'm not looking down upon those people because I feel like everybody deserves a home. I'm talking about your bums, the drunkards, the tweakers, the crackheads, the crazy prostitutes, all these idiots. They don't care about life. They don't care about shit. All they want to do is get high. And they will rob you. They will steal all kind of stuff, assault you. So you have to be like a vigilante when you're approached by people you do not know. I'm just saying, if somebody seems too overly friendly or like watching you in your business, it's because they're trying to find out a way to fuck with you, to steal, and I'm not gonna let that happen. So I tell people, don't waste your time trying to sugarcoat or be phony. If you don't like a person, you have a right to tell a person leave you the fuck alone, okay? No, you do. And then some folk, they don't seem to understand that. I'm very nice and I'm very professional, so I think people think, well, oh, she's so nice and friendly, because you should be a happy person. You don't have to look at everyone like a suspect or thing like that, but you have to be on guard, and you have to watch your defenses when your environment, when you're traveling, because I travel a lot for the military, I travel a lot for business, and even for personnel. And when people see you traveling, and I have a lot of stuff, I have a lot of clothing, I go shopping, thing like that, you don't think they ain't looking away to try to break in your room. And that thing I can honestly say, I've stayed at many hotels. I have never ever had an issue, except maybe if I leave something and they never report it, that's one thing. But I've never had an issue with any hotel keeper stealing out my room. I've had issues with the hotel stealing money out my bank account, and I had to charge their asses. Lowe's Hollywood Hotel, I stayed there many years ago. So, we're talking high-end, 3-4 star hotel. Hollywood Boulevard is supposed to be glamorous, all this shit. It was not. And they kept charging my bank card like hundreds of dollars. Like, imagine. You know how much it costs to stay at that hotel? I paid a pretty penny, about $250. I think $250 is a good rate if you want like a 3-star or 4-star. and depending on what the amenities are. So I had paid $250, and I actually got the upgrade to the suite. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. I ordered room service. I'm at the pool. I'm relaxing, having the time of my life, right? When I got back to my room, I'm like, what are all these charges for? I noticed it was like $300 charge, $200 charge, a $400 charge. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? So I go to the front desk. I'm like, excuse me, I need you to tell me, why is my card being charged hundreds of dollars, right? I've already paid for the stay. I've even paid a deposit. And they couldn't tell me, oh, it's an accident. Well, I'm a computer programmer, darling, so it's not an accident. No, you have malicious spyware, or you have an error in your coding program. You see, because this is how people steal identities and hack your account. Do you think that they're just sitting in the dark on a computer, trying to hack people's account by guessing numbers? No, they first steal from the company and they steal their source code. So once a criminal has access to the financial, that's why you always hear about Target, all these companies, they get hacked and the credit card information and the customer profile information gets stolen. So you have to be careful with that, because I already had my identity stolen and I had to have those two people prosecuted for that. So it's a serious thing. I mean, I literally had somebody had stole my military ID and tried to access the DC Navy Yard, because I was stationed at the DC Navy Yard, and they tried to access the base. Now, of course, you don't look like me in the photo, and what are you trying to do to get on this base here, you know? And they already had an issue with somebody shooting. So that's what I'm saying. I tell people, like, you really need to pay attention to your financial information and who you bank with and who you give access to. All these little apps that come out, be careful putting your credit card on there. Only use the application if you know the company and you trust them. Because I can make an application on my computer right now, put it on Google Play, put it on Amazon and all this thing, and you're putting your credit card and you're putting your personal information in there. You really have to be careful. It's a shame that you have to do these steps, but let's face it, you have low-life criminal. They want to steal. So I had to go to the police and I had to tell them, look, I'm staying at this hotel, Lowe's Hollywood Hotel, and they are stealing my money. And, I would like it to stop, but I don't want it just to stop, because obviously, the bank will recover me on that end. I want them prosecuted because I think this is going on. Well, I read the reviews. Other consumers, other customers, you're not a consumer, you're a customer. We're saying the same thing. Hey, how come when I check in this hotel, I get all these charges? Well, one of the charges, they told me, Mom, all your temporary charges, we're so sorry about that. They'll automatically drop off in a few days. Now, you don't know my financial situation. Yeah, I have money, but that's not the point. Why do you think that it's okay to charge my card all these hundreds of dollars? And so one of the charges, it did not drop off. It was like $300. And it stayed. They actually, when you submit something through, like your debit card, for example, it goes through your checking account. It pulls to your account. So it's easy to see the ACH, debits, withdrawals, all of that. The pending transaction, normally 72 hours, and it will fall off. Now, most of the time, if they have not submitted the proper paperwork to reconcile that pending charge, then it automatically drops off. And they tell you they're not supposed to have a recourse, like to recharge you again. But we know some unscrupulous companies have done that. And so when you bank with a major bank, or at least a bank that's ethical, you can trust, they will have that overdraft protection. They should also have where you can dispute the charge. Some banks, you get your money back that same day or one day. You shouldn't have to be waiting for your money. But the particular bank that I had was like, no, it's going to be about 7 days. I'm like, all right, no problem. I'll just track it. And luckily I tracked it, because, I'm in Hollywood, I'm in LA, I'm traveling, I'm doing all this thing. And if you're not paying attention to all your expenses, it's easy for them to get away with this shit. I worked at a bank and they were like, people were still in front of bank out of people's accounts. So it happens all the time. And so when the $300 charge didn't drop off, I had to go to the police, do a police report. And they actually came and they locked the property manager up. Because apparently, financial crimes is a serious crime. And when you're preying upon people that are traveling, man, that's horrible. That is disgusting. So I did not prosecute the Lowe's Hollywood Hotel itself, only because they cooperated. I called them. I said, look, your property manager is stealing, okay? And I've already gone to the police, but I want to give you an opportunity to be advised of the situation and to take appropriate action. And if the action that you are taking is to cooperate, then I won't prosecute you. But if you're standing in the way of my investigation, if you try to protect this employee, you will be prosecuted as well. And I believe that the company did the right thing, because they immediately turned over the documents that we had asked for. They immediately turned over the video camera. And the guy got fired. So it's kind of like I have been through like the rigmarole when it comes to hotels, motels, or don't even get me started with Airbnb. I will never, ever, ever stay in an Airbnb ever again. I've said that for many years. Just because you don't have accountability, you have scammers. You ever had a listing and you go to it and it's not what it's supposed to be at all? I'll tell you about this real quick. Okay, so I had got this Airbnb a couple of years ago. I was staying, this was like, okay, this was like West Hollywood. I was staying there at a hostel. I got tired of that. So North Hollywood. I was like, let me just find a cheap Airbnb. So I found an Airbnb like 30 something a day, And honestly, like, what was this, about 5 years ago? That was pretty much like a standard rate you could find, like a room. You just wanted a room for a night or two or whatever the case may be. I've even rented whole houses and villas. So I was like, yeah, I like Airbnb. Let me just get a room for a few days, decompress, do a little bit of sightseeing, so to speak. And then I go back to the hostel, right? Well, it was supposed to be like a room in an apartment. But when I got there, oh my God, it was a tiny basement. It was like a 3-room basement, a 4-room, if you count the little tiny ass bathroom. And I was like, what the hell is this? I mean, you go in, there's a teeny setup, like makeshift kitchen, hardly, It's a basement, y'all. Come on. And then it's like a living area, so to speak. And this guy has his computer and his